And I want to make sure that you understand me well, ladies and gentlemen. You are accountable for that which you excel in. You've heard people say, well, he's going to go, or she's going to go, or this student is going to go to Yale because they are so intelligent. They make such high scores when we measure on that which deals with intelligence and capabilities. That is fantastic. There are people who have different levels of ability to command different things. Beautiful. If you are the most intelligent, then you, my friends, are held accountable to make sure that anything that you master, it is not sufficiently done until it benefits the whole of the entire society. Now, this is what I've been given to tell you. If you're the strong, you're responsible for the weak. You are responsible for the weak. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to, you see where I'm going, so I don't want to spend too much time. So I'm going to see if I can shorten it up a little bit. For those of you who are in the church, the spiritual order of things, you know how you feel about the church. All of America got these different ideas and opinions about the church. I want to tell you, in the eyes of God, the responsibility of the church, whoever is walking according to the dictates of God's love as a church representation, has the accountability of assuring that all churches see God in the same way. Now, I know you're going to say, how are we going to do that? Simple. God has one way of achieving things that's beautiful and profitable and godly and heavenly. And you must know what that way is, who think that you're the blessed one. And you must be responsible to make sure that everybody else sees it the same way. Now, how does that happen? By love. It has nothing to do with force. It has nothing to do with violence. It has nothing to do with punishment. It has to do with the development of the truth and exercising. And from that exercise comes the truth in reality. Well, so here we go. We're saying the church out here, all the churches from every denomination, I don't care you big or small, rich or poor. The church is not free from sin until the duty that it has been given. You've heard people say, there's going to be sin. There's going to be righteousness. There's going to be wheat. There's going to be grass. Let it grow together. And there's going to come a time when some other power is going to come and separate it. Now, that power to separate it is already here. This is the harvest time. This is what is required to be separated from the truth or lie. If you're living the truth, if you know the truth, you got a responsibility to do everything you possibly can to make sure that all across the land is that same truth. And how do you do it? Those of you who are responsible for certain things, and I put it like this. You hear me talk about, let's see now, things that are for survival: food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, transportation, infrastructure, all of the other things that you have determined are essential for your survival. Now, you've made this decision, and it's good. Now, if the resources that God has given are adequate to meet these needs, then it is the duty and responsibility of those who are led by the Spirit of God to make sure that that is distributed amongst the human race, not just America, the human race, that every man can say, thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. You see, in the process, we are just lying to ourselves. We are lying to ourselves. Really, when we get down to it, we are just like Putin going over to attack Ukraine. Now, you might not be able to think that big. You're going to say, how would I try to associate that big, rambunctious action to your little petite, small non-action? I want to tell you this. There's no difference in what Putin, that army, did over in Russia to Ukraine than what we saw over the past several days when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. It's the same identical thing. And what we saw in Russia, what we saw on that stage at the Oscars, the same things that we go through every day. Every day. Every time you go to the hospital and there are not enough doctors there to be available to see you, and you got to be postponed somewhere down the street when you got an illness right now, but you can't be scheduled in, that is a failure of America's society. Every time you're looking for some place to stay and you got no place to stay for whatever the reasons might be, that is a failure of humanity. What I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, we have the responsibility of creating heaven on earth. Those of us who say we're led by the Spirit of God, we got one responsibility. We're not sit here and fit in. We'll not sit here to get along. We are here for one purpose, and that is to see that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. No other excuse. You'll find another say, well, I did mine right now, baby. You did. Are you still alive? Then you must be held accountable. And everybody else. And that's your duty and responsibility to see that this is done. Now, you say you can't? Well, you know what happens to those that have given it their all. Has that happened to you? You are held accountable still. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to introduce that to you. It just came to me, and I had to give it to you before I forget it. And I know, even before this day is over, I'll be coming back addressing that concern even deeper. But right now, I want to thank you so very much for giving me these your few moments. And until the next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying, we are responsible for one another. Nobody escapes out of here thinking you got it. You, as people, must lift up God. To when you look around, all you see is the sun shining, and it's shining bright. Why? Because you're doing those things that prevents lying and cheating and stealing and killing, terror, hurting, crime and violence. Oh, it's a beautiful slate now, because you, as they say, you are woke. Thank you.